Hello everybody, so today we're going to be doing chapter 5 flashcards, which is infection control principles and practices. So let's just get started. And these are going in order, but no, they're not. I think this time I'm going to read the definition first and then flip it over to the word. So it is going to go in order. Okay, a mechanical process, scrubbing, using soap and water and detergent or detergent and water to remove all visible dirt, debris that interferes with disinfection. And that is cleaning. We have a chemical process for reducing the number of disease causing pathogens / germs on clean surfaces to a safe level, which is to sanitize. A chemical process that uses specific products to destroy harmful organisms on environmental surfaces. That is to disinfect. The part of the U.S. Department of Labor to regulate and enforce safety and health standards to protect employees in the workplace, regulating employee exposure, informing them of hazardous materials. That's Occupational Safety and Health Administration, aka OSHA. This was made by OSHA and created the Hazardous Communication Standard, HCS, which requires chemical manufacturers to communicate potential hazards with their products. And that's the Occupational Safety and Health Act of 1970. This is the results of the HCS, which is the material safety data sheets. And this was created label standards around the globe, safety data sheets, SDS, which replaced MSDS. And this is a globally harmonized system of classification and labeling of chemicals system, GHS. This registers all types of disinfectants sold and used in the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency. This destroys most bacteria, including spores, fungi, and viruses on surfaces. It's disinfectants. Designated by EPA to be used in hospital setting, can be used on any non-porous, aka no holes or pores in the surface. Common products are quaternary ammonium compounds, aka quats, effective against most pathogens. Hospital disinfectants. An abnormal condition of all or part of the body or its systems and organs which make the body incapable of carrying on normal function. That's disease. Proven to kill bacteria, that tuberculosis, in addition to pathogens. That tuberculosis? That doesn't make sense. Okay, like tuberculosis probably. Tuberculosis disinfectants. Okay, pretty self-explanatory. Written by both federal and state legislators, that determines the scope of practice in that establishment, guidelines for regulatory agencies to make rules. Laws are also known as statutes. These are laws. Cool. Written by regulatory agency or state board, and they determine how the law must be applied and can be changed frequently. That's rules and regulations. The invasion of body tissues by disease-causing pathogens is called infection. Bacteria, viruses, fungi, and parasites are known as the 4 types of microorganisms caused by pathogenic organisms that enter the body. Infectious disease may be spread from one person to another person. This is called an infectious disease. Okay, put it in the definition. Okay, infection, where pathogen has distributed throughout the body or system of the body rather than staying in one area or organ. This is systemic infection. A pimple or abscess confined to a particular part of the body and appears as a lesion containing pus is known as a local infection. Fluid containing white blood cells, bacteria, and dead cells can be a sign of bacterial infection. That would be known as pus. a stage where bacteria capable of forming a spore to protect itself, does so to withstand unfavorable conditions in its current environment. Sporing forms hard keratin coating that protects it from dying. This is known as the inactive or spore-forming stage of a bacteria. This is the stage where the bacteria grows and reproduces. It multiplies in dark, warm, damp, dirty places. Binary fission takes place where cell divides into daughter cells are produced, and this is called the active stage of bacteria. Hair-like extensions in bacteria to create motility. Cilia are shorter versions of flagella, and these are known as flagella and cilia. So cilia is the shorter form. Okay, particles that infect and reside in cells of organisms are known as a virus. Various poisonous substances produced by some microorganisms are known as toxins. Organisms that grow, feed, and shelter in or on another organism while contributing nothing to the host are known as parasites. Transmission of blood in bodily, I don't know what that says, bodily fluids through contact with contaminated objects like razor, nippers, etc. is known as indirect transmission. So it has to be through objects. Single-celled organisms that grow in irregular masses, like molds, mildews, and yeasts, are known as fungi. Transmission of bodily fluids or blood through touching, talking, sneezing, kissing, etc. is known as direct transmission, directly through the person. Self-movement in bacteria is known as motility. Spiral and corkscrew-shaped bacteria causes syphilis, STDs, and Lyme disease, and this is known as spirilla. Short rod-shaped bacteria, most common bacteria, causes tuberculosis, is known as bacilli. Sorry, I don't know how to say it. Spherical bacteria that grows in pairs and causes disease, like pneumonia. These are known as diplococci. Pus-forming bacteria arranged in curved lines resembling a string of beads causes infections like strep throat and blood poisoning are known as streptococci. That's easy to remember because strep throat. Yeah. Pus-forming bacteria that grows in clusters like bunches of grapes. These cause abscesses, pustules, and boils are known as staphylococci. Round-shaped bacteria that's pathogenic is known as cocci. Harmful microorganisms that can cause disease or infections in humans upon invasion are known as pathogenic bacteria. Harmless organisms that may perform useful functions they are safe to come into contact with and they do not cause disease or harm are known as non-pathogenic bacteria. Any organism of microscopic or submicroscopic size is known as a microorganism. One-celled microorganisms that have both plant and animal characteristics are known as bacteria. These are capable of destroying funguses and viruses, and they are fungicidal, I don't know. Capable of destroying bacteria, bactericidal. Virus, those are upside down. Virus that can live and produce only by taking over other cells and becoming part of them, unlike bacteria, live and produce on their own. Viruses cannot be treated with antibiotics. Vaccines fight viruses. And that would be the difference between viruses and bacteria. Colonies of microorganisms that adhere to environmental surfaces and the human body. They secrete sticky protective layer, making them hard to destroy, such as dental plaque. And those are known as biofilms, resulting from conditions associated with employment, long and prolonged exposure to certain chemicals and ingredients could result in occupational disease. Affects the body as a whole due to under and over functioning glands or organs carried through bloodstream or lymphatic system, is known as a systemic disease. Bad. Okay. Yeah. Cool. Why do they keep... Okay. Disease causing microorganisms. Okay. What does that say? In the body by blood? Carried in the body by blood or body fluids. Okay. Disease causing microorganisms carried in the body by blood or body fluids. You can get these in the salon whenever the skin is broken. Hepatitis A, B, and C can be in the salon. B is the most difficult to kill. B and C spread through blood. These are known as blood-borne pathogens. Inflammation of hair follicles caused by a bacterial infection, often caused by Staphylococcus aureus, is known as folliculitis barbae. Cool. Definitely butchered one or more of those words. Superficial fungi infection caused by a variety of dermatophytes. No, cooler. That's known as tinea barbae. Fungal infection of the scalp characterized by red papules or spots at openings of the hair follicles is known as tinea capitis. Ringworm fungus of the foot is known as tinea pedis. Easy to remember because ped means foot. Parasite and contagious disease caused by itch mite under the skin is known as scabies. Ability to destroy, resist, and recognize infection. Natural immunity is obtained through healthy living, and acquired immunity is what the body develops after overcoming the disease or with vaccines. This is known as immunity. Destroys cell microbial life, requires use of autoclave. I don't know if I wrote something wrong there or whatever. Which incorporates heat and pressure. The CDC requires weekly spore tests of the autoclaves to ensure effectiveness. That is known as sterilization. Removal of blood and visible debris like dust, hair, and skin is known as decontamination. Step 1, wash with soap and water, then scrubbing with a nail brush. Step 2, using ultrasonic unit. Step 3, using a cleaning solvent. This would be known as 3 ways to clean tools and implements. Amount of visibly moist time required to be effective against pathogens listed on disinfectant product label is known as the contact time. Disinfectants must state this on their label. It is the ability to produce an effect, and this is called efficacy. This is also known as quartz. It's a very effective disinfectant in the salon. Quaternary ammonium compounds. This is known as tuberculocidal, a form of formaldehyde with high pit that can damage skin and eyes. I don't know if that's pit. Okay, whatever. Don't put down the drain. This is known as phenolic disinfectants, okay, also known as bleach, should not be used to disinfect tools. It's called 5.25% sodium hypochlorite. This is also known as reusable, can be cleaned, disinfected, and used on more than one person, must have a hard, non-porous surface. And these are multi-use items. These are known as disposable items, cannot be used more than once. All of these objects have porous surfaces that can't be properly cleaned, and these are known as single-use items. These are known as piped foot spa. Works sort of like a jacuzzi, recirculating water for massaging effects, slowly discontinuing due to microorganisms growing in the pipes. Those are the whirlpool foot spas. These blow bubbles throughout the tub. Water doesn't circulate through air channels. These are the air jet basins. These can be easily cleaned and disinfected, the new standard for salons, which is pipeless foot spas. These do not circulate water at all. They're non-whirlpool basins. This breaks down stubborn films and remove residue of pedicure products like scrubs, salts, and masks, effective in hard taps. And these are chelating soaps, detergents. You cannot replace proper cleaning and disinfecting with any of these. No shortcuts. And these will be additives, powders, and tablets. So you still must clean and disinfect. Chemical germicides formulated for use on skin and regulated by the FDA contain high level of alcohol. These are antiseptics. Guidelines published by the CDC that require the employer and employee to assume all bodily fluids are potentially infectious. And these are standard precautions. Showing no symptoms or signs of infections is known as being asymptomatic. Some chemicals will bear labels that call for use of PPE, such as gloves or goggles. PPE is personal protective equipment. A type of fungus that affects plants or grows on inanimate objects but does not cause human infections is called mildew. Okay, yes, so we have reviewed all of them. That is all from chapter 5, and I will be back doing the quiz video in the next video. So yeah, thanks for watching. Hopefully this was kind of helpful.